Today we're taking a look at these NCAAF matches, which are happening on Friday, September 23, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. So make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Virginia vs Syracuse. Virginia has an outstanding defense and can keep this one within a touchdown. The Cavaliers have allowed 24 or fewer points in all 3 games, and I am surprised the spread is at 10. They held an Old Dominion team who beat Virginia Tech to only 14 points last week. Syracuse QB Garrett Shrader has been solid but will have a challenge against a Cavaliers defense that is limiting foes to only 197 passing yards per game. Despite the win, Shrader only converted on 13 of 29 pass attempts last week. Furthermore, UVA has a good QB in Brennan Armstrong, who has yet to play to his potential this season. The senior accumulated 44-49 passing yards and 30 TD passes in 2021 and should have his best game of the season against an Orange pass defense that is squandering an average of 242 passing yards per game, landing them 86th in the FBS. Our team pick is Virginia Cavaliers plus 10.5 points. Both special teams units have struggled as Syracuse is 4 of 6 on field goal attempts, while Virginia is 4 of 5 on field goal tries, so there is a huge issue there when kicking isn't as effective as it needs to be. These defenses also stepped up throughout the course of the season, as the Cavaliers are giving up 18.3 points per game, while the Orange have been allowing 16.7 points per game thus far. I don't trust Virginia to reach their implied total points. The under has hit in each of the previous 4 Virginia games, as well as in the last 5 Orange Friday games, so go with under 55.5 points here. Our total pick is under 55.5 points. Nevada vs Air Force. After going 8-5 last season, Nevada's roster is in extreme transition as their previous head coach Jay Norvell left for Colorado State. This year's team welcomed back just 2 starters on offense and 4 on defense. In the Mountain West preseason media poll, the Wolfpack was pegged 4th in the West Division and 8th out of 12 teams in the conference overall. Nevada opened the season with 2 wins, beating New Mexico State 23-12 and Texas State 38-14. They failed to reach 3-0 by losing their 3rd game to an FCS opponent Incarnate Word 55-41 and last week lost to Iowa 27-0 as a 24-point road dog. Air Force came into this season ranked 16th in the nation in returning production, while the Wolfpack ranked 131st, according to Phil Steele magazine. The experience will show Friday as Air Force bounces back from a humbling road conference loss, and Nevada is coming off a physically draining game against Iowa. Outside of the Incarnate Word game, the Nevada offense hasn't looked great running or passing the ball this season, and I don't see them consistently moving the ball on Air Force. The Falcons' option attack will control this game and wear the Wolfpack down. The big spread is a little concerning, seeing that Air Force will likely put together several long drives. But I don't see Nevada being competitive in this game and wouldn't put much faith in them getting a lucky cover. Our team pick is Air Force Falcons minus 23.5 points. The Nevada Wolfpack have been a decent offensive team this season and need to get junior wide receiver Jamal Bell more action out wide. He has recorded 17 catches for 116 yards, 6.8 yards per reception, and has yet to find the end zone, as well as having a 3-yard rushing attempt this season. In his last game against the Iowa Hawkeyes, Bell had 3 receptions for 19 yards, 6.3 yards per catch. He needs to figure things out and get more yardage if the Nevada offense wants to be even more effective. This number opened at 48.5, so seeing it drop a whole 3 points really makes me feel like we are getting some value at this number. Nevada is coming off not scoring last week, while Air Force scored just 14 points, so it is okay to be a little sheepish on their offensive totals in this game. However, the Falcons have scored 41 and 48 points in the 2 previous games, while the Wolfpack put up 41 and 38 points respectively. We know Air Force is going to run the ball, but they get good yardage and continue moving the chains as they are 17 of 36 on 3rd down attempts this season, while Nevada is 24 of 68. The over has hit in 5 of the last 6 games against each other, so go with over 45.5 points in this game as well. Our total pick is over 45.5 points. Boise State vs UTEP. Boise State bounced back from their season-opening defeat as they strung together back-to-back wins after taking down Utah Martin at home Saturday. The Broncos are now 2-1 on the season and seek to extend their win streak to 3 by prevailing here. In Saturday's contest, Boise State was even at 7 after the opening quarter before outscoring Utah Martin 13-0 in the second quarter to take a 27 halftime edge. The Broncos didn't allow the Skyhawks to put any points on the board in the second half en route to the win. Boise State held a 327-152 advantage in total offense, rolled up a 29 advantage in first downs, and dominated time of possession by a 39-11 to 20-49 margin in the contest. Each team committed 1 turnover in the game. The Miners come into this contest 50th in the FBS in passing offense, with 258.3 yards per game through the air, and a dismal 123rd in rushing offense, with 74.3 yards per game. UTEP is only 123rd in scoring offense, with an average of 14 points per contest, and 90th in scoring defense, as they allow an average of 29 points per game. Gavin Hartison has hit 79 of 162 passes for 989 yards, with 2 touchdown passes and 3 interceptions. Calvin Brownholtz is 5 of 9 for 44 yards with 2 interceptions in his limited action. Ronald Awad is the leading ground gainer for the Miners with 52 carries for 225 yards and 2 scores. Dean Hankins, 25 carries, 79 yards, TD, is also in the mix to provide veteran experience in the backfield. Tyron Smith leads the team with 27 receptions for 437 yards, plus a pair of scores. Ronaldo Flores, 22 grabs, 272 yards, and Kelly Arcaray, 10 catches, 92 yards, are reliable secondary targets in the passing game. Gavin Beckel has hit all 5 extra point attempts and 7 of 8 field goal attempts, with a long of 54 this season. Something has to give in this one, as neither team has managed to cover the line this season. Boise State is 0-2-1 against the spread, while UTEP is 0-4 in their contests this season. The problem here, at least for the Miners, is that they have struggled to put points on the board. Ranking in the bottom 10 in the nation in scoring offense doesn't inspire confidence, and neither does a -5 turnover differential with 11 giveaways after 4 games. Boise State has been better the last couple of weeks after their season-opening drubbing at the hands of Oregon State. Expect a 3rd straight win for the Broncos as they take care of business here. Our team pick is Boise State Broncos -15.5 points. The Boise State Broncos have been doing pretty well through the early portion of their season as they are 2-1 and are riding a 2-game winning streak after a 37-home win over the Utah Martin Skyhawks. The offense is dealing with some injuries throughout their offense, specifically as freshman offensive lineman Mason Randolph and senior tight end Riley Smith are both questionable with undisclosed injuries for this game, while sophomore wide receiver Austin Bolt, leg, is out for the season. Junior running back George Holani has been their go-to guy in terms of getting the ball in both the rushing and receiving game, as he has the team lead in both categories. It makes sense because that is exactly what Boise State coach Andy Avalos talked about, getting the ball in one of their best skilled players' hands often. We need to get Holani the ball in the perimeter too when there's space out there. We need to get him as many touches as we can. The UTEP Miners are not known to be a powerhouse program on the football field, but they have been competitive. The biggest issue has been their lack of being able to put points up on the board, as the team is averaging 14 points per game and have scored 20 points as their highest total. When you can't score effectively, you need to be careful with the football, and that has not been there as they have 5 total touchdowns and 11 turnovers. Expecting points to be scored by the UTEP Miners feels a little too difficult to predict, so until they can prove otherwise, I will fade them by scoring much. There is no way that the Miners can turn the ball over as much as they did last week, as that felt like a complete aberration of bad luck, so they are going to have possession for too long. The Broncos are also built to run the ball effectively to move the chains, and that will take a good chunk of the clock to do just that. Holani has seen an increase of rushing attempts each game from 13 to 20 to 24 and has seen more success with each, so it will continue to climb. The under has hit in each of the last 4 September games for the Miners and in each of the previous 4 Broncos games, so go with under 45.5 points here.